Taylor Swift's team is now coming out swinging, and that is super interesting. An article just dropped about Taylor Swift is alleging that Blake Lively is lying, but is Taylor telling the truth, or is this just a strategy to save her own skin?
And I mean, my friends, there's sort of like a unspoken code that we're there for each other and we would never turn on each other. It's like kind of like this alliance that is the best kind of friendship you can have.
There were a lot of favors and a lot of begging and really for Taylor? I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time for you. And
she's the person who shows up for you.
I'm so grateful to have that love and that support. But yeah, there were other people too that I had to call and beg, and people that said no. I don't know what that means.
Anyway, she goes on, we'll play, but it's telling, and I'm glad you found that because she's been trying to downplay Taylor's involvement, right? She's been trying to say, oh, you know, she just popped up, and now there's sources saying Taylor just happened to be in the room that day. She didn't even mean to have a meeting with Justin. It seems like Team Taylor is trying to back up as far as possible from the situation, which makes sense.
Taylor Swift and Blake Lively have been best friends for a long time, but they may be on the verge of a major falling out. If even half of the rumors that are circulating are true, I can understand why Taylor would want to distance herself from Blake. This is not your typical Hollywood drama. It is a combination of a friendship falling apart, career politics, power plays, and what appears to be a significant amount of manipulation. So here's the situation. There have been a lot of cases discussing how Taylor Swift feels like Blake Lively has been using her in this ongoing battle with Justin Baldoni, who is directing it, Ends With Us. When I first heard this, I thought, wait, what does Taylor have to do with this movie? She is out here dominating the music industry, breaking records and selling out stadiums, and suddenly she finds herself caught up in a Hollywood drama that she never even agreed to be a part of? Yeah, something doesn't seem right. There was a very intense meeting at Blake and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse, and Justin was there to talk about some rewritten scenes for It Ends With Us. However, the situation became even more complicated when Taylor showed up without even knowing that the meeting was taking place. She thought she was just going to visit Blake like a friend would, but then she found herself in the middle of a full-on war zone. It was said to be a heated discussion, and Justin, who was about to leave, ended up meeting Taylor for the first and only time. According to sources, all Taylor said was that she was excited about the movie because he was her friend's boss. That's all there is to it. That's the extent of her involvement. But now, all of a sudden, Taylor's name is everywhere in this situation and in the way Blake is presenting it. It makes it seem as if Taylor was actively supporting her, as if she were some sort of strategic weapon in this fight against Justin. Blake even went so far as to call Taylor her dragon. Now, let's take a moment to discuss this dragon thing, because this is where things start to feel really manipulative. If you have ever seen Game of Thrones, you know that Daenerys, the mother of dragons, had these powerful creatures that would basically destroy anyone who crossed her. They were her ultimate advantage. So when Blake called Taylor her dragon, it was like she was saying that Taylor was an unstoppable force who was standing behind her. She was prepared to go to war for her. But the issue is that Taylor never consented to participate in that battle. She was not there to be used as a weapon. She was there because she believed she was simply visiting her friend. If you are Taylor Swift and you see a close friend using your name without asking you first, wouldn't you be angry? Because I sure would be. You don't just assign someone a role in your personal battle without their consent. You don't just drag them into your drama and expect them to stand by your side no matter what. That is not friendship, that is manipulation. If you find yourself in a difficult situation and require assistance, you should reach out to your friend and inquire whether they are prepared to support you. You don't just throw their name out there like a shield and hope they'll just roll with it. And Taylor hates being manipulated like this. One thing that she has made clear throughout her career is that she does not appreciate it when people use her name for their own benefit. Keep in mind how she battled to maintain control over her own music, and how she would not allow influential individuals in the industry to take her work from her.
I like writing songs about douchebags who cheat on me, but I'm not gonna say that. In my monologue, monologue. I like writing their names into songs so they're ashamed to go in public. But I'm not gonna say that in my monologue. You might think I'd bring up Joe, that guy who broke up with me on the phone, but I'm not gonna mention him in my monologue. Hey Joe, I'm doing real well. You might be expecting me to say something bad about Kanye and how he ran up on the stage and ruined my VMA monologue. But there's nothing more to say, cause everything's okay. I've got security lining the stage.
Blake has a history of doing things like this, so it doesn't sit right with me that she's out here putting words in Taylor's mouth and making it seem like she was involved in something she never even signed up for. She's always been an advocate for artists having control over their own projects, so this is a little hypocritical. According to sources, Taylor's name has been used for a while now, and one of the uses is particularly outrageous. For instance, she is said to have told a young actress that Taylor had personally cast her in a project, which, as it turns out, was not true. If that's the case, then we're not just talking about a single mistake. We're talking about a pattern of behavior in which she drops names and uses Taylor's influence to make herself look better. And honestly, that's pretty messed up. However, this is where things start to get really interesting. Taylor has not spoken at all about any of this. If you have been a fan of Taylor for a long time, you know that when she doesn't say anything about a situation, her silence usually means that she has a lot to say about it. She is very careful about what she chooses to address and what she allows to happen on its own. The fact that she has not publicly defended Blake shows that she does not support him in any way. She has not even liked anything related to this situation. That says a lot. Consider it. If Blake was being honest and Taylor was actually on her side and supporting her in this fight, then why wouldn't Taylor say anything? Why wouldn't she do something simple, like post a supportive message or just be seen hanging out with Blake like she usually does? She could have easily brought Blake to the Super Bowl with her like she did last year. She could have made some kind of public gesture to show that they are still on good terms, but she hasn't done that either. And that silence, it's deafening. Taylor has experienced this before. She understands how the media operates, she knows how stories are created, and she also knows that sometimes the best way to make a statement is to not make one at all. If she truly wanted to support Blake, she would have done so. The fact that she is distancing herself from him says a lot. And let's be honest, Taylor hates it when people drag her into unnecessary drama. She has an entire empire to run. She is literally in the middle of a record-breaking world tour. She has albums to re-record, and she has an entire fan base analyzing her every move. She does not want to be involved in a Hollywood feud that she did not even agree to be a part of. To make matters worse, there are rumors that she might be subpoenaed. Yes, this is definitely a nightmare for her. So, what does this mean for the situation? At the moment, we are in a wait-and-see situation. Will Taylor release a song that subtly criticizes Blake for taking advantage of her? Is Blake going to try to fix things and make amends? Or is this the start of a serious falling out between friends? Let's be honest, when Taylor Swift decides to cut someone off, she really cuts them off. We've seen it before. She doesn't do things halfway. If she feels like someone has been unfaithful or has betrayed her, that's all there is to it.